Okay, so this video is going to be nice, quick, and short because I'm just looking at one ring from Vitaly. And I purchased this ring because I was really curious to see the design in person, and specifically one aspect of the design, because I like the design itself, but there's a particular aspect of the design which is the anodized, I don't know what else to call it, anodized covering, the color, I guess you just call it the colors of it, but yeah, it's anodized steel, and the way that they've done it is well, they call it gasoline. You'll see the aesthetic is yeah, it looks a lot like gasoline, especially, you know, when you see gasoline in a puddle and it has the rainbow colors, you know, the full spectrum of the electromagnetic blah blah blah. So crack this open. Oh, sick. You're looking at the back of it, but I was looking at the front. Well, to me, this looks really cool. And yeah, this is definitely trying to make sure I give you guys a good look. Yeah. You know, the pictures on the website just can't do this justice. Oh man, it looks so awesome. It looks so awesome. Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, the pictures on the website just straight up cannot do this justice. My webcam certainly can't do this justice. I really like what I'm seeing. I really like how this looks. Yeah. Unfortunately, so this came out in 2019, like this gasoline styling. They released it in 2019. Unfortunately, it is now being phased out, and there's only a few pieces left in this styling. So, for anyone that's just seeing it now, well, you may want to get onto it. Far out. It looks really cool. It's hard to describe, but it's if you're like me and you're a little bit of a nerd, when you look at this, you get a feeling of like you're looking at the full electromagnetic spectrum, you know, from violet all the way through to, is it red or is it blue? I forget. But basically, this has that kind of feel, almost to the point of you're looking at like nuclear energy, in fact, because nuclear radiation, in particular types of nuclear plants, there is this incredible blue light that will emanate from the nuclear rods. I used to know what it was called because I found it. I was like looking at. I don't know. I have no idea where I first saw this thing, but I went and I searched and I found the Wikipedia page for it. And yeah, unfortunately, I've forgotten what the actual name of it is. It's got a particular name. It's like this particular kind of light. It is generally blue, and it emanates in this incredibly eerie, supernatural, like kind of alien, but also sort of like esoteric, like kind of magical fashion from the. I'm pretty sure it's the nuclear rods. I could be wrong. I'm not a nuclear physicist, but yeah, the look of that is, to me, a little bit similar to this. And when I first saw this, I was thinking like, shit, that kind of looks like the same thing. I'm talking specifically about the blues, obviously, but then there's also the pinks as well. Now, an interesting thing about pink is that as a color, it doesn't exist. You don't believe me? Just Google, does pink exist? And you'll find out pink doesn't actually exist. So that's kind of wacky, right? But, I'm like I love the magical, weird mysteries of existence. And the fact that pink doesn't exist really speaks to me. And for some reason as well, I view pink as a really powerful color. Specifically, this kind of like, how do I even describe it? It's like a fluoro neon pink. It's not just your stock standard pink. I'm speaking specifically about this kind of pink, and yeah, it reminds me, or it's how do I say this? I have this image or this imagery in my mind of this ultra like bright pink energy, similar to the nuclear energy that I was speaking about before, but also relating to lightning for some reason. I think of pink lightning, and then I also think of Tesla coils and Tesla and energy and frequencies, and even like auras and stuff like that. And it goes all the way for some reason. It goes all the way to Odin and Zeus. This pink energy. It's hard to describe. But yeah, I saw this ring and I was like, okay, it's speaking to me in that way. I really need to get it to see what it looks like in person because already my mind was going down these avenues. And yeah, so I'm really happy about this. I'm really happy about the way it looks. And yeah, I need to figure out what exactly I mean when I'm talking about this pink energy because, yeah, it relates to Odin, it relates to lightning, Zeus, obviously, nuclear energy, yes, the electromagnetic spectrum, yes. Um, and there's something about it. As I said, not a nuclear physicist. Um, and but I do find quantum physics and nuclear physics and all that kind of stuff very, very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. So, yeah, this ring, you could say, reminds me of that. Cool. And it's my first time ever getting a size 8, and it fits nicely, which I'm happy about. That was another reason why I wanted to get this, because I got this. Well, it's currently on sale because, yeah, it's clearance, but I also got it with Black Friday discounts. So I needed to find out if a size 8 would fit. Obviously, I've got the ring sizes, um, but it's nice to be able to pick up, a ring on sale, the first one in this particular size, just to make sure that it fits the finger. Now, I just want to tell you guys, this is not showing up well on my webcam at all. Not showing up well at all. Um, in person, it's like a completely different thing. And yeah, man, the electromagnetic spectrum is just insane. It's insane because when you get into it, like you just dive straight into quantum physics. Like here we are in the material world, and I've got skin, bone, flesh, all that kind of stuff. But holding all of that together somehow is quantum physics, and the experience that we have of it is essentially defined via the electromagnetic spectrum. And then the electromagnetic spectrum is all about vibrations and waves and energies and and all this different kind of stuff. And then you find out colors, some colors don't even exist, like pink doesn't exist. And you just start to think like, what the fuck? Do I exist? Like, how do I exist? And am I the electromagnetic spectrum? You know what I mean? Like, how could you not be the electromagnetic spectrum? And so when you find these people and they're speaking specifically like with their PhDs and all their research articles about the electromagnetic spectrum, it's like they're talking about life itself. not just this one facet of life or this one kind of like scientific, boring sort of thing, but like life in and of itself. And the crazy thing about the electromagnetic spectrum as well is that it's a function of our visual acuity, right? So we can only see, or we only see a particular um, part of the spectrum, you know? And then to the extremes, well, we can't see it. And then the other thing that's crazy and insane about it is that those extreme levels are actually, generally speaking, detrimental to what we consider to be life. And that's just wild because you go from this kind of like basic thing of like, yeah, we can see, on this spectrum of colors and wavelengths and blah 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 blah, and then you get out to the other extremes and it's like, oh yeah, and this is where it starts to kill people. This is where it starts to create cellular damage, DNA damage, and then and and it just gets wild. And I like this ring a lot, so I'm a little bit, obviously a little bit sad that this crate, I got late to the game on this electromagnetic style. However, I'm glad I've got at least one piece, and maybe it's good that I came late to the game because if I had like two hands full of these electromagnetic spectrum jewelry pieces, like my mind would just explode more than likely. So yeah, that's that. Hey, highly recommend, highly recommend this.